We left off with the word zoo in the last lesson because we had some technical difficulties. So we're in the Wise Guide, Section I-3, and we're on the last two words of the first section. The first word is miss. Miss Jane will miss all the money she spent on the dress. Remember, we've got two rules for this one. We often double F, L, and S after a single vowel that says its short sound. Is. Okay, so think of that. And then another one that, Rule 22, oops, I don't have out here. Oh yeah, here. To make a word plural, just add S unless the word hisses. So with this, in this example, miss, does that hiss? So if you said, I bet he will miss the catch, and then the ball goes out, and the kid misses it, and she says, he missed it. Kid misses it. So do we say, just add an S or ES? Which one do you think? It hisses, so we add, so we add ES if it hisses. Okay? So let's just look at the base word first, though. Miss. Miss. Is. Now, in the sentence, I gave you two miss. So listen. Miss Jane will miss the money she spent on the dress. So, do I capitalize any of this? Miss Jane. I would capitalize the M if I was saying her name, Miss Jane.
Wait, so which miss is it?
Will miss all the money. Am I going to miss my friends? Do I capitalize that one? No. So you can decide if you're going to do spell the miss for Miss Jane or the miss for missing the money. They're the same spelling. One's just capitalized. Okay, say it with me. Miss. Is. Go ahead and say it as you write. Does it look like mine?
Yep.
Or you could have done this. So let's do the cursive with the small letters. Go straight up to the midline and straight back down. Bump at midline for your M. For your I, up to midline and down. For your S, at an angle, loop around to connect and out. And at an angle, loop around to connect and out, dot your I. If I wanted to not write out miss for Miss Jane, how could I abbreviate the word miss?
MS period.
MS period. That's not Mrs. So someone who's not married would be miss. Someone who is married would have an R. Mrs. It's a difference. MISSUS if they're married. Do we have any markings? Nope. All first sounds. All right, the next one is add. My church will not add or subtract from God's word. Very good. And remember the same rule as last time? We often double F, L, or S or D after words that have the short sound. Add. That's the short sound. Okay. So add. Add. Your turn. Add. Add. Good. Say it as you write it. So, print it out first, and then to the right of that, you're doing your cursive. For your A, go up to 2 o'clock, stop, come back around, connect, and down. For your D, go up to 2 o'clock and stop, come back around and connect, but straight to the top, back down to the baseline. For your second D, stop at 2 o'clock, come back around to connect, all the way to the top, and a tail. Do we have any markings? No. The next one is lace. The lady helped my aunt select lace for her dress. Lace. Lace. Okay, say it with me. Lace. Lace. Okay, say it as you write it. Okay, which one is correct? What does this word say?
Lass.
Lass. Hey, lass. Hello, lassie. Okay, that is not how you spell lace. This one is how you spell lace. Did yours look like mine?
Yep.
Yes.
Now let's look at the rules for the silent E. Remember, we have quite a few rules for the silent E. Let's put them in order. Was it the first one? The vowel sound changes because of the E.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. So in red, we're going to underline your A, 2 lines under E, and put an arc between the two. The vowel sound changes because of the E. And for cursive, start at the baseline, do a big loop to the top, and back down. For your A, stop at 2 o'clock, come back around and connect, and back to the baseline. For your C, stop at 2 o'clock, come back to the baseline. And for your E, a little loop at midline. Very good. The next one is Mr. Mr. George Mueller trusted God to answer prayer. We have his biography we're going to read. He's really a cool story. He ran an orphanage in London, and the kids would pray. They'd have no food. They'd be at the dinner table. They'd pray for food. Someone would knock on the door and bring them dinner. It's a really cool story. We'll read that one when we're on. Okay, Mr. So,
This is the next list.
oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for asking. So you've gotten to the bottom of your first column because we just had to finish a couple from the other day. So go to the second column, top row, and you can choose either the blue or the white to go down. So we're on the second row now. Everyone ready?
Okay.
All right, Mr. Oh, I found it out. Mr. Ready? Mr. First syllable, miss, is. Second syllable, ter, Okay, do it with me. Mr. First syllable, miss, is. Second syllable, ter, Okay, so say it as you write it.
Wait, wait.
Eh.
I'm so lost.
We finished these, and then now we're starting Mr. up here. So we had miss, add, and lace for your first column, and now we're on Mr. Do we have any markings for Mr.?
No.
Yep, we underlined the The of her. How would I abbreviate Mr.?
MR period.
What kind of M?
Capital M.
Yep, so we do an M-R period for Mr. Does this abbreviation, this one changes when you get married, right? From Ms. or Miss to Mrs. Does this one change when the person gets married? No. Okay, so Mr. is always the same. So let's do some cursive. Start at the baseline. You're going to bump up to midline and straight down. A bump at midline for your M. For your I, up to midline and back down. For your S, at an angle, loop around to connect and out. For your T, straight up to the top, down to baseline. An R is a loop at midline. And the R goes up at an angle, down the shelf, and out. Cross the T, dot the I. And make sure that you are doing print first with your markings, and then cursive after that. All right, the next one is find. Happy is the man who finds wisdom. Proverbs 3:13. Finds. Okay? Finds. I-N-D. Okay, say it with me. Finds. I-N-D. Go ahead and say it as you write it. Here's a hint if you need it. This can have more than one sound, right? Remember, when you have when you're adding this or the z sound, I will find my coat. He finds his coat. Okay, we're not adding a Z, we're adding an S to a word. Okay, so let's say it as you write it. I find. Now, why is it not fins? Do you remember our rule 19 that says I and O may say I and O in front of two consonants, right? So we have bind, gold, find, sold, right? So those ones can say their long vowel. That's why we can have that rule there. What are we going to red mark over this Z sound? Is this the first sound of an S? No, it's not finds. It's finds. So we're going to put a 2 over the S. And then in your cursive, fun Fs. A big loop to the top, a big loop underneath, and back to connect it out. For your I, up to midline and down to baseline. For your N, straight up to midline, straight down to baseline, and bump at midline. For your D, stop at 2 o'clock, come back around to the top, and down to baseline. And for your S, at an angle, loop around to connect, touch your I. Does anyone need time working on their cursive?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. So don't forget next to Mr. to write the abbreviation, capital MR, and then finds. We're good? Okay, the next one is nice. Grandmother is very nice to my family. Okay? Nice. I need to finger that wiggles better.
What?
That's my best wiggly finger. Okay. Nice. Alright, ready to do it with me? Nice. I'll wiggle it myself. Alright. Say it as you write it.
Nice.
Alright. Why does the silent E's stay there? Let's look at our rules. Is it because it's just an odd thing? No. Every syllable must have a vowel? No. C says because of the E?
Yep.
That's true. English words do not end in V or U. But typically we start with the first one. The vowel sound changes because of the E. So how are we going to mark that?
One underline, one line under the I, 2 lines under the E, and an arc over the 2.
Very good. Let's do some cursive. For your N, up to the midline and straight down, bump at midline and out. For your I, up to the middle and down. For your C, stop at 2 o'clock, come back around. And for your E, a loop at midline. Nice. Nice job. All right, the next one is plant. The man learned a new way to plant corn. Plant. 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 Say it with me.
Plant.
Plant. Plant. Say it as you write it.
Plant.
Good. Any markings?
No.
Nope, all first sounds. Let's do the cursive. So go up to the midline, down for the P. I do a little loop and around to connect and out. There's your P. For your L, it's a big loop at top line and down. For your A, stop at 2 o'clock, come back around and connect and back to the baseline. For your N, straight up to midline, straight down, bump at midline and out. And for your T, straight up to top line, out, and cross the T. The next one is got. Our choir got new songbooks for the lady song leader. Got. Ready? Got. G-ought. Say it with me. Got. G-ought. And remember our rule. G may say J before E, I, or Y. So G can say what in front of A, O, and U? G, the hard sound. Say it as you write it. Very good. Let's do some cursive. Oh, I'm sorry. Any markings?
Yes.
No.
All first sounds. G-ought. Okay, for your G, you're going to go up to 2 o'clock, stop, come back around and connect, and under the bass line for a loop. For your O, stop at 2 o'clock, come back around and connect, and a ponytail. Straight up to the top for your T, back down to the bass line, and cross your T. Nice job. Away. When the cat is away, the mice will play. Away. Okay, ready? Away. First syllable second syllable way. W-a. Remember we have 2 phonogram there, right? Do it with me. Away. First syllable second syllable way. W-a. Say it as you write it. Any markings?
No. Yes.
Yeah, we underline our 2-syllable A.
What?
Yeah, let's do it in cursive.
No.
For your A, go up to 2 o'clock, come back around and connect, and back to baseline. For your W is a backwards bump, right? Up to midline, bump at baseline, up to midline, bump at baseline, and a ponytail. For your A, stop at 2 o'clock, come back around and connect, and down. And for your Y, up to midline, bump at baseline, up to midline, and finish with a little nice curly key. Very good. That nice plant got away. I went down to the store to buy myself some things for the garden, and that nice plant got away. Grew legs and walked.
Yeah.
The next one is came. Men overlooked the baby's birth when love announced came to earth, says Tatlow. I like that. Men overlooked the baby's birth when love announced came down to earth. I like that.
What does that mean?
It means we didn't see when Jesus was born. It was an overlooked event. But love, he's the perfect form of love. He came down. That's cool. All right, came. You ready? Came. K-A-M. Okay, do it with me. Came. K-A-M. All right, say it as you write it.
Came.
So I heard k-am and I heard k-am. How do I know if it's a C or a K?
C.
C says K before A.
Good. C says S before E, I, and Y, but it says K in front of A, O, and U. So we can get rid of that wrong one. And then why do we have this silent E? Let's remember our rules. Is it because the vowel sound change? Oops, wrong one.
So they can't come.
2, 3, 4, 5. Is it because the vowel sound changes because of the E?
Yep.
That's the one. So, underline A, 2 lines under E, and an arc. The vowel sound changes because of the E. Let's do our cursive. For your C, stop at 2 o'clock, come back around. For your A, stop at 2 o'clock, come back around and connect, and straight down to baseline. For your N, M, up to midline, straight down, bump at midline, and a tail. For your E, do a small loop at the baseline. I'm sorry, at the midline. Everyone's good? They got their cursive?
No.
I'll let you catch up while I'm doing this one. The next word is west. Men risked their lives to move west in covered wagons. West. West. Do it with me. West. West. Say it as you write it.
West.
West. Any markings?
No.
Nope, all first sounds. Okay, here's our line. Let's do some cursive. For your W, you're doing the under bumps. We're going up to midline, bump at baseline, up to midline, bump at baseline, and a ponytail. You're going straight into your E, a little loop at midline and down. For your S, we're going up at an angle, loop around and out. And for your T, up to the top line, down to baseline, and cross the T. How would you abbreviate west? If I say, take your GPS and follow to the west.
Take your what?
Take the maps, look at your compass, find west, and start walking. How would you abbreviate west? A capital W. Very good. So on this compass rose here, that is a shortened version of making a compass rose. The little hook at the top shows it's going which way?
North.
North. And how do I abbreviate north? An N. Okay, so what comes over here?
West.
Not west.
East.
Never eat east. Soggy
Waffles.
waffles. Yep, so west is abbreviated as a W. So if you're driving, let's say you're driving down Car Road. Sometimes you can say see Car Road West, or you could see East Car Road, right? Because if a road is super long, they will break it down. You're on the west side or on the east side. So if you said to somebody, I'm on the corner of Car and Giant, which side of Car Road? Car Road's so long, right? So sometimes long roads, they break down to East Car Road and West Car Road. Sometimes they'll say East Car Road or Car Road West. I'm not sure why they change that like that sometimes.
Is it really a car road?
There is, up in Nevada. C-A-R-R is how they spell it.
We should go.
I think it's named after a guy. Why C-A-R-R, not just C-A-R.
After a car.
Is there a road named Road? That'll be funny. Road.
Road.
I live on Road.
Okay. Last two. Went. Sue went north last fall to meet her uncle. Went. Went. W-e-n-t. Say it with me. Went. W-e-n-t. Say it as you write it. Does yours look like mine?
Yeah.
Yep.
Any markings?
Nope.
Nope. All first sounds. Okay, for cursive, go up to midline, bump at baseline, back to midline, bump at baseline, and a ponytail. For your E, you just go straight into the E with a little loop at midline. You go straight up to midline for your N, straight back down, and a bump at midline and a tail. For your T, up to the top, back down, and cross the T. What is this verb the past form of? She went to the store. What is it the past form of?
Will go.
Okay, will go is the future. She will go to the store. So what's the present form?
Went.
Go, right? So this is one of those weird ones that you have to remember. Go to the store, right? She will go to the store. Go to the store. She went to the store. past, present, future. So we don't say she will go to the store, she goed to the store, right? The past form is not goed. She goed to the store yesterday. The past form is went. So this is one of those weird ones that you have to memorize that changes. It's an internal change.
It's going to say want, but that's a completely different word.
Yeah. Because we don't goad. Nobody goad.
We don't want to.
I mean, a matador in a ring with the bull and those pokey things, that's a goad. Mm-hmm. Okay, lake. Our families like to camp at the lake. 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 Say it with me. Lake. Lake. Okay, say it as you write it. How do I know which sound to use?
What's lace?
C says S in front of E, I, or Y. Okay, so this is lace. Here we have lake. Silent E. We underline our silent E. Why does it say have a silent